So what are we talking about when we're talking about house hacking? Well, that's just simply purchasing a piece of real estate, purchasing a property, and occupying that property, but at the same time, you're renting out the additional space in that property to bring in additional income and cover down on your housing expense. You can do this with a single family home or a small multifamily property, typically up to a 4 unit property. So in a single family home, you're living in one room and then renting out the others. And then in a small multi, you're just living in 1 unit and renting out the other. So same concept there. Two great benefits to this. First, you have access to favorable financing because you're going to occupy the property. You're an owner occupant. You're going to have access to FHA loans, VA loans, and conventional loans with small down payments. And so this is great for someone who's just getting started, maybe purchasing their first property or their next one, because you can get in there with little to no down payment, which is a big barrier to entry for most real estate investors. And then on the other hand, you also get to cover down on some of your housing expense by renting out additional space in your property, essentially. And so it's a great way to build wealth and start your real estate portfolio and start snowballing your investing career, basically, because you're combating your housing expense, you're minimizing that by bringing in that additional income, and you're getting your foot in the door with very favorable financing. So house hacking is a great strategy to get started, especially for the rookie, newbie investor who maybe doesn't own any real estate yet, or maybe just has 1, 2 properties even. So just wanted to do a quick video on breaking down what this could look like in our market here in Clarksville, Tennessee, and kind of show you guys the numbers very, very quickly to kind of show you that, hey, this is still a viable strategy. Even with tough interest rates, it still makes a lot of sense. So let's dive in and take a look. So what makes a good house to house hack? Well, if you're going the single family home route, I think you should look for something with as many bedrooms as possible, or as many bedrooms as you can tolerate, because you have to think about each additional bedroom besides the one that you're going to live in as an additional rental unit. Essentially, each one is its own individual little mini rental property. I like to think of it like that. So if you have 5 bedrooms, obviously, and you're going to have 5 different people living there, you're probably going to want at least a couple of bathrooms. So the more bathrooms you have, the better. It also helps to have like a good floor plan that's kind of going to facilitate a by the room rental. And so those are just some things that you should look for when you're looking at a single family home to house hack. So here's a great example of one that's available for sale here in Clarksville. It's just a regular single family home. It's got 5 bedrooms, 2 full baths, and 2 half baths. So that could be a really good opportunity to house hack. For comparison, I pulled up just a 2-bedroom apartment that's available for rent here in Clarksville as well. Going rental rate for a decent 2-bedroom is around $1,100. And so these are the 2 subject properties that we'll use for comparison. And what we're going to do is look at the numbers if you're going either route here. If you're going to rent on the one hand, or if you're going to maybe try to house hack on the other. So let's look at the single family home first. Here's a little calculator I put together, just a real quick analysis. You've got 5 bedrooms and you're going to rent out 4 of them. In our market, it's very possible to rent out each of those rooms for about $500, maybe more, maybe a little bit less, but I think 500 is a good number. Purchase price is $335,000. And of course, I did a little mortgage calculator here, so this is where I'm getting these numbers from. The principal and interest payment on this 30-year fix at 6% is going to be about $2,200 and some change. And I just put in some estimates for taxes and insurance. All in, you could purchase this home. Your monthly mortgage payment is going to be about $2,600. The rents you could bring in if you're renting out each of these individual rooms is about $2,000, because remember, you're renting out 4 of them, which means that your net housing expense, your cost of living as far as housing is concerned, is about $500-600. Over the course of a year, that's under $7,000. Flip over here to the rental option for someone who chose to rent instead of exercising this house hacking strategy. they are paying $1,100 in rent every month, and over the course of a year, they're out $13,000. But flip back over here to the analysis on the house hacking. If you go this route, you also have the benefits of home ownership. And so you're going to have some appreciation. You can estimate whatever you want here, and it varies a lot by market and timing in the market cycle. I think 5% is a reasonable estimate today, but you could run the numbers how you see fit. If you're estimating 5%, you're going to gain almost $17,000 in appreciation at the end of year one alone. In addition, you're going to pay down principal by about $6,000, giving you a total equity gain of about $23,000. So compared to renting, not only are you not out $13,000, you've actually built up equity to the tune of about $23,000. In addition, your monthly living expense is about half of what you would be paying if you're renting. And that's a very simple analysis. Of course, if you're a homeowner, you have expenses associated with home ownership and whatnot. But at a very high level, I think the analysis is very clear that pursuing the house hacking strategy is going to put you in a better financial position. It can put you in a better financial position. Of course, analyze the deal, make sure the numbers make sense. But this is just a quick analysis to highlight the potential here. If you are going to rent out a house by the room, there's a number of ways you can do that. You can post each individual bedroom on Airbnb, for example, and manage it that way. That's a pretty easy way to do it. You might have a little bit lower occupancy than if you're looking for a monthly rental, monthly furnished rental from someone. If you're going the Airbnb route, you might have, sporadic nights booked. But you can also try to just rent it on a monthly basis or even a 3 to 6 to 12 month lease. There are a number of different sites out there to facilitate that. Roomster, Spare Room, Zillow even, HotPads. Lots of options if you want to go that way. So again, the house hacking strategy is a great way to build wealth and get your foot in the door, especially for a beginner. Get in there with access to favorable financing and at the same time cover down on your living expenses that you're going to have regardless. Great opportunity to build wealth, assuming you can qualify for the loan. If not, that's the first step you want to work towards. And then you want to identify a great property to house hack. We talked a little bit about what to kind of look for when picking a property. Another route you can go that we didn't talk about is picking up a multifamily property, just living in one unit and renting out the other units. That could be good for someone who's trying to execute this strategy but doesn't necessarily want roommates, because there's challenges that go along with that too. No one said this is going to be easy. It's not always fun, but it's a great way to build wealth. So if you're a beginner, you're thinking about getting your first property or just getting started, or you maybe just want to try a strategy that's going to help you build your wealth and cover down on your living expenses, highly recommend the house hacking strategy. Definitely take a look at it and run some numbers, make some offers, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you.